Ahoy Ye Swabs, Captain Jeff the Pirate here, at shared service. Welcome to Captain Reviews and Questions Adventure Time. Now, this be part 1 of 2 of the Better Late Than Never. Adventure Time, it does all these great shows, then they go off the air for a while, then we get the huge overload of all these shows coming back to us with like shows back to back within the same week. And then, yeah, so you're not here to learn about that, you're here to hear about me and give my reviews of the shows. So, let's get right to it with part 1. Before this, and this review will be taking place before the Island series, so get ready. Alright, first episode, 2 Swords. Alright, so here's what. We haven't gotten to the new islands yet, so we still have the same intro. It starts after the events of Reboot. If you haven't seen it yet, then you're further behind than I am with this review, so yeah. Now Finn, here's what. It's after the end of the fight. Finn now has a new robotic arm. And here he recounts his encounter with the Grassman. We see from the past episode what has happened to the Finn inside the sword. And we are wondering, what is the intent of this curse? Basically, we see the Grassman is now... We have Finn the human, and now we have Fern the human. Basically, we see a grass Finn. This the blade of grass pierced the sword, and is now... It's weird. It's Finn, but it's not Finn at the same time. My question: what is the curse thing up to? And what is PB going to do with Susan Strong? And why did Grass Finn mess up the house? Let's see. So I give this episode a 1 thumb up. Let's see. Interesting beginning to the new season. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing all these shows like just right in a row, just trying to get to the highlights and go through the points. So I'm so behind I have to do all this within 1 set. I'm very sorry about this. Alright, next episode. Episode 2, Do No Harm. So Finn checks up on Susan and Jake spends time with Grass Finn. We see that Finn gets yelled at by Dr. Princess, who mishears him at the wrong moment. And Finn has to take up medicine while we see Rattleball, and we see that Rattleballs has been put back together. That's pretty interesting. We then learn that the origin of the blade of grass, and at the end, we not just the curse, but we actually see where the blade of grass first was made, where it came from, who made him. Very interesting. And at the end, we meet, like I said, Fern the human. We also see that Finn isn't cut out to be a doctor. And at the end of the episode, Susan be awake again. Now Fern leaves on presumably some kind of quest for self-discovery. Yeah, we'll cover about him later. My questions were, why is Rattleball still hanging out at the hospital? I mean, sure, Finn borrowed his sword, but he's supposed to be considered destroyed when let's see. Why did Jake say that the grass maze feels familiar? I don't think we've been there before. Anyway, I give this episode 1 thumb up. Dr. Princess seemed kind of like a jerk in this episode. Okay. Episode 3, Wheels. Alright, now this episode it primarily focuses on Jake and his son. And his son, Kim Kil-wong, Kim Kil-wong, I'm hoping I pronounced that right. If I mispronounced it, I am very sorry. Now, Jake's son is worried about his daughter. Bronwyn? Yeah, B-R-O-N-W-I-N. Yeah, Bronwyn. Yeah, so Jake is now a grandfather. Pretty awesome. And it turns out she's a skateboard enthusiast. And Jake wants to prove to her and to her friends that she is cool. But then he wants to try to talk to her to try to get her back to normal, but then he ends up making it about himself and trying to prove that he's cool. We see the Rainicorn dog hybrid powers can be passed from generation to generation. And the episode concludes with a theme race at an old theme park, which is pretty interesting, showing some more stuff from the pre-Mushroom War. Like I said, it's also interesting seeing the powers passed along. Let's see, questions. He brings Finn along at some point to play the flute. Why? And when Finn does play the flute, Huntress Wizard appears again. Why is she there? I thought she was seeing the spirit of the forest. I guess, let's see, and how long has the theme park been around? I mean, I don't think it was from any other episodes, but, let's see. When we see the race, we see Princess Bubblegum and Marceline are there. Why are they there? Let's see. And then, at the end of the episode, we learn something about a swan ride. I won't go into that, I just think it's a little weird. Ugh. Now, I give this 1.5 thumbs up. This one's actually a little better. It gets a little more because, for a few reasons. For starters, it kind of reminds me of the Nuka-Cola World DLC. And, I gotta admit, in my youth, and Test Subject 1337 can vouch for me for this, we were fans of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater Series games, so yeah, so kind of nostalgia there, so yeah. Alright, next episode, High Strangeness. Okay. And this episode takes top on ours for weirdness, I swear. Alright, we figure out that there's aliens. And they've, little green men. And they visit Tree Trunks every now and again, and we find out she's a mother of space people. Tree Trunks is still mad at Princess Bubblegum for disrupting her wedding. Which I kind of like that. It kind of shows how everyone thinks, oh, the princess is perfect. Even after the whole election thing and whatnot with the fake king. It's nice to see that there's... not everyone is swayed over by Princess Bubblegum. Let's see. PB says that she's doing a fireworks show, but we know it's not that. She says she's doing the right thing even though she's not sure of it, so uh-oh. Let's see. And Tree Trunks figures out that she's actually doing something to the ETs. And Starchy agrees that something else is up, so he meets with Tree Trunks. Let's see. Starchy is still paranoid and has the meeting from a couple episodes back. Now then, here's what we figure out. Princess Bubblegum's little space thing was actually meant to, be for exploration, but unfortunately it's messing with other people, so that causes problems. Tree Trunks agrees to help, but she still doesn't like her. So things get resolved. Yeah. Now, let's see. We see a camera that's in the shape of a shoe, and PB's controller is shaped like the state of Texas. Oh boy. And one of the ETs is eating out of a bowl that says Garfield. Huh? Alright, I like how PB was shown how she screwed up. So, like, PB, she's like, oh, I'm a princess, I do science, and I do all this perfect thing, blah, 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 blah. So it's nice to see that, realize that she's made mistakes. Let's see, what does PB know about the end of Ooh? Because that's basically what Starkey was doing for that. And why is Tree Trunks helping PB? Sure, she agrees about respecting each other as mothers and believers of the powers of space, but this just seemed a little weird. I mean, seriously, in a sense, they're both mothers. I give this episode 1 thumb up. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. Alright, the next episode... Alright. Horse and Ball. I thought this was an interesting episode. This is about James Baxter. If you don't know who this is, it's basically, well, the title's kind of a giveaway. It's the horse that dances around in the ball. It says, James Baxter! Somehow the entertainer thing. And here's what. We see this episode's about him and how he acts without his trademark beach ball. And we see the kingdom of the Raggedy Princess in this episode. Fairly interesting. Let's see. And also, we learn the origin of James Baxter and how he got his name. And at the end of the episode, we see him pick up a new trick. Now, I like this one. I thought it was very interesting. And since this episode's been out for a while, I think I can say this without problems. James, he looks at a box that's labeled for games. G-A-M-E-S, but he pronounces it James. And Baxter comes from him mispronouncing bookstore. Alright. Let's see. Now, what was with the mole people? Yes, there's mole people in this. Mold people. That's right. Yeah, there are mold people. I don't get what's going on here. Let's see. And why? Now, Raggedy, the Raggedy Princess, she was holding out on the beach ball at the start of the episode, giving it to Jake and Bimo, trying to help James Baxter. Why? Why is she? Let's see. Later on, we see that there was a. Let's see. What was with the bat and the piles of toys in the tree cave thing? And I wonder what happened to the bat after it left. It's apparently James Baxter was doing it to try to cheer the bat up, but then James Baxter became more focused on his art or whatever. Let's see. I give this episode 2 medium thumbs. It's getting weird. Okay, it was okay. A lot of weird parts, and nice to have the backstory of James Baxter, but the ending and this episode just kind of feels lacking. Alright, name. Jelly beans have power. Okay. As you recall, we now have the fire elementals in the land of Ooh. Patient St. Pim, Slime Princess, Fire Princess, and of course, Princess Bubblegum. Arr. Okay, so the show opens with PB and Slime Princess talking about the elemental powers. PB seems upset by the powers, but she still wants to try them. So yeah, it's kind of like, she wants to, but she doesn't want to. Let's see, it's rare, but it looks like Slime Princess is right about PB being jealous. Seriously. Princess Bubblegum prides herself on her know-it-allism, but every once in a while she doesn't know about something, or she actually does show jealousy. It's pretty interesting, I like that. See, the princesses once again realize actions and consequences, and we also see, and okay, let's see, by the end of the episode we actually once again see Patient St. Pim. And we also, we know where she is, we see what she's up to, and we actually hear her roommate. So, alright, so then the question is, what did happen to Patient St. Pim after she was slimed? Well, we get the answer somewhat at the end of this episode. Let's see. Is this, and then we see a crystal creature, but we can't figure out it's from St. Pim. Why are all the now here's what I find interesting. This crystal thing is attacking the kingdom, but the Gumball Guardians aren't doing anything. Why aren't they doing anything? It's their job, right? Ugh. I give this episode a 1.5 thumbs up. This episode, I think it's starting to set up to lead somewhere, but where that is, we don't know. It may happen during the events of Islands. It may happen after Islands, but alright, so there were a lot, so let's see, we had a 1.5 thumbs up, we had a two middle thumbs, we had 1 thumb up, let's see, we had a thumb up, so yeah, I think Adventure Time knows that it's getting near the end, so they're trying to tie up some loose ends and maybe tell as many stories as they can before the final episode. Yeah, so these episodes, they were alright. They weren't, you didn't need to see all of them. If anything, I really like, they're good. They're telling the stories, they're giving us some insights, but nothing that really stuck with me. Maybe the Jelly Beans one that had power, the skateboarding one, and Finn and the new Fern the Human thing. They're alright, but they need to do some work. I guess they were saving their A game for Islands. Islands also has a few issues here and there, but the majority I'd say is really good. Alright, well that's all the time we have for this episode. This ran long, I'm sorry, I tried to get through all these as much as I can. Tune in next time when we finish up the Adventure Time special, compressed all into 1 week-long, too many episodes, special Islands. Until next time, this has been Captain Jeff reviewing and in question Adventure Time, saying thank you for watching, and as always, arrgh.